Hey there, life editors! Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome to day 3 of Face Your Fear Week. Ooh. I'm so happy you're here, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. So this is my 9th annual Face Your Fear Week. It's hard to believe I've been doing this for so long. So every October leading up to Halloween, we do Face Your Fear Week, where we talk about different fears that you might be facing as you edit your life and business. So worry and self-doubt and comparison and all sorts of different fears. But this year is a little different. This year, we are just talking about business fears. And the reason we're doing that is because we are celebrating the launch of Startup in 60. Woo! I am so happy to be bringing back Startup in 60. It is back from the dead. It has been gone for almost 2 years. So Startup in 60 is a time management course for busy women who are ready to finally start their own businesses, whether they have 60 days, 60 minutes, or even just 60 seconds. Yes, you can start a business from scratch in only 60 seconds a day. I am so proud of this program. So for those of you who have previously purchased a version of the program, you've already been given access. So go ahead and log into our portal and you have access to the program right now. But for those of you who are interested in joining us in Startup in 60, I have left the link to join us in the description of this video. And the reason you should definitely join us now is because starting November 4th, we are beginning a live session of Startup in 60. So what does a live session mean? That means there are weekly group calls with me where you can interact with me, ask me your questions, get answers to your specific problems for your business, and really be there to support all the other ladies in the program, all the other life editors who are building their businesses from scratch. So that's why you should really take advantage of the live session that's going on starting November 4th. So go ahead and click the link in this description to check out Startup in 60. All right, so here we are, Face Your Fear Week, day 3, and today we are talking about the fear of missing out. Oh yes, FOMO, fear of missing out. And I'm sure most of you have experienced the fear of missing out, where you feel like because you're not doing what everyone else is doing, that you're missing something in some way. It's all about comparison and envy. And am I not living up to my potential because I'm not doing what everyone else is doing? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you feel this when you look at social media, like everyone else is doing this. Should I be doing that too? Or maybe my life isn't as great as it could be because everyone else seems to be doing better than me. So yeah, so this is fear of missing out. Like if you don't do all the things, then somehow you're not good enough. And this is something that a lot of my clients experience. And we're going to talk about one of my clients today. So let's title this segment, Why I Told My Client to Delete All Her Emails. Yes, why I told my client to delete all her emails. So in addition to being a life coach, I have calls with my clients through Skype, and we don't just talk about like, oh, let me give you some advice for whatever you're doing. Sometimes we actually do stuff during the calls. Either we'll build up their websites, or we'll come up with their 12-week plan. Or for this particular client, we're actually going through her computer files and organizing everything. That is something that we do. So we're going through her files, we're cleaning everything up. And then I was like, okay, let's go take a look at your emails and clean up your emails too. So she brings up her email program, and I'm looking at it, and I'm shocked. I'm actually really shocked and horrified a little bit. I can't really believe what I'm seeing when she's showing me her emails. She had 2,100 unread emails sitting in her inbox. 2,100 unread emails. Now, some of you might be thinking like, oh, Sage, that's nothing. I got her beat. But as someone who goes to inbox 0 every day, it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I was so disturbed that she had 2,100 unread emails in her inbox. And she told me that she didn't exactly have time to go through her emails. She wasn't making time to go through her emails. And she didn't want to miss anything. So she just kept all of the emails there. And she would get to them sometime. And I'm like looking at her emails. These emails are months and months and months old. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is this? What kind of value do you think you're going to get something from an email that's 5 months old? So I advised her to do something that was really, really outside of her comfort zone. I told her to delete all of the unread emails, every single one of them, until her inbox was completely clear. And this took a little bit of pushing to get her to do this. She was terrified because she thought she was going to miss out on something. That's the FOMO we're talking about. That if she didn't hoard all of these emails, she was going to miss something important. I was thinking, you already are missing something important because you're not going through your emails properly. You have all of this like garbage email cluttering out the stuff that's really important. So that day, what we did, we deleted all of her emails, all of the 2,100 unread emails. They were gone. We even cleaned out the trash. We cleared it completely. And I told her that, I know that was hard, but if there was something important, really, really important, they will contact you again. Think about that. If there's something really, really important going on, you will hear it in more than one ways. You might not be on Facebook, but you might hear it on the news somewhere else. Or if someone's trying to reach you because they really, really need an answer, they're going to email you multiple times. If somebody is selling a product or a launch, like I'm going through a launch right now for Startup in 60, they're going to email you multiple times. You're not going to miss something that's actually important. If it's not important, they're probably not going to contact you again. So this is all about fear of missing out. And I know you're probably feeling this sometimes too, like, oh, I can't just delete all those emails, or I can't just like not sign up for all of these programs. So FOMO is when you think that you're going to miss out on something if you don't hoard things like emails. Or some of my clients hoard programs, like you sign up for every single business course you can find, every single time management course. You just sign up for all of them, but you don't actually do the work. You might start too many projects because you don't want to miss out. You're like, well, Sally's doing this thing, so I want to sign up for it too. And Megan's doing this, so I'm going to do that too. Like you sign up for everything. Or you say, I'm going to do 100 different things for my business. I'm going to do this PDF ebook. I'm going to do this digital course. I'm going to do this email course. I'm going to do like all these different things. And you're just stretching yourself way too thin. So the problem with FOMO is that you're so concerned about missing something that you don't actually turn inward and focus on your own work, your own business, your own goals. So you think that everyone else has a better technique. Everybody else has some kind of information that you don't have. And if you don't collect it all, if you don't get it all, then you're not going to be good enough. But you're already not good enough because the FOMO is holding you back from taking any kind of action to begin with. So leave a comment. Let me know. Have you ever experienced fear of missing out, FOMO? I know sometimes this happens to me. Like, I don't want to miss anything. So I might spend way too long researching and reading before I actually do something. And I know this also happens to me like in December and January. I keep buying planners because maybe this is going to be the perfect planner. Honestly, I'm releasing a planner in December, which I've gathered up different aspects of different planners and put them all into mine. So I'm confident that I'll be using my own planner. But like, does that happen to you? Do you just keep buying more and more planners, more and more programs? Maybe this will work. Maybe this will give me the magic pill to be successful. So that's all FOMO. So here's a few things that I want to talk about. And we have a whole section about FOMO. Actually, we have a few different sections about FOMO in Startup in 60. So in Startup in 60, I talk about how I want you to miss out. Yes, I want you to miss out on things. That is the whole point of Startup in 60. We're taking you from an idea to a fully functioning business as quickly as possible. And yes, that means not every little shiny bit of things is going to happen. Not every little like sparkly thing you want to do for your business is going to happen. Some things are going to fall to the wayside. Some things are not going to get done. You are not going to have the best logo in the world. You are not going to have the flashiest website, but you are going to be doing the important things like getting content out there, sending emails, creating packages and programs. So I want you to miss out on those things that are not truly important. because you could waste so much time keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up appearances, collecting and researching that you don't actually do what you set out to do. And you created your business for a reason, because you want to help people. You have something good to put out into the world. You have a solution to their problems. And I want you to put that out into the world rather than freezing up, delaying, and procrastinating because you're caught up in the FOMO. Here's something I say to my clients all the time. You know, I've said this a million times. Done is better than perfect. Let me hear ya. Done is better than perfect. You could have the best idea in your head, but if it's not done and people can't buy it and people can't use it and read it and see it, it's worth nothing. Done is better than perfect. So next time you get caught up in FOMO, remember, done is better than perfect. There will always be another chance to take action. There will always be another thing for you to do. Like I mentioned before, you don't have to jump on everything the moment that you hear it, because someone's doing a certain technique over here doesn't mean you need to start it right now. And if it's important, you're going to hear it in multiple ways. So for me, I'm a big reader. I read a lot of books and I love reading. Of course I do, because I'm a former book editor. But I don't always just buy a book the moment that I hear about it. Usually I have to hear about a book 3 or 4 times before I'm like, okay, now I'll read it. And I don't need to jump on something because I figure if it's important, if it's really good, I will hear about it again. So think about that. Maybe give yourself some kind of limit, like I need to hear about something X amount of time before I actually take action on it. Let me tell you about a technique that we use to combat FOMO in Startup in 60. And this is something I use with my personal one-on-one clients too. It's called a parking lot. So what's a parking lot? Okay, so you are in your car, your little business car, and you are driving it around. And you come up to the parking lot and you pull into the space and you park the car. And then you get out and go do whatever it is you do. You go run your errands. you go to the movies. You go to the grocery store, whatever. You're working on other things. That car is still a car. It is still there. It still exists, but it is in the parking lot. You're not moving it and using it right now. So think about the hundreds of ideas that come to you every day, every week. You don't need to drive those ideas around right now. You can put them in the parking lot where they're safe and secure, and you can come back to them later. So in Startup in 60, we create your own parking lot, and that could be a notebook. It could be like a spreadsheet. It could be like something printed. It could be digital. It could be an app. It could be whatever makes sense to you, a notes app, whatever. When you have an idea that comes to you that sounds so good, like, oh my gosh, I want to do podcasting, or, oh my gosh, I'm going to look into that type of payment processor, or, ooh, I want to research Facebook ads, whatever it is. When you get an idea that comes to you, instead of focusing on the FOMO and trying to do it right then, you're going to park it in your parking lot. You're just going to pull it in there and park it in the space and give it its little space, give it its little parking lot. So you're honoring it. You're saying, this sounds fun. This sounds like a good idea. Maybe this is the thing that will help me in the future, but I'm going to leave it in the parking lot for now and keep moving on other things. And then in your schedules and routines, which we also come up with in Startup in 60, you're going to have a time when you review your parking lot. So maybe you go and review your parking lot once a week. Every Friday, you see, is there anything that I want to work on for next week? And then you put it into your schedule for the next week. And sometimes you'll come back to the parking lot and you'll look at it and you'll be like, what is this? What is this weird idea? Like, I don't want to do that. And that's a good thing. You don't want to take action on something right away, because if you actually give yourself enough time to think about it and consider it, you might even come up with a better idea, or you might realize that it was just a time waster or a money waster, and you'll be so thankful that you didn't jump on the FOMO and do it right away. So let me know in the comments, do any of you use a parking lot? And if you do use a parking lot, what's it like when you come back and look at those ideas later? Are you shocked by what you see? Do you actually take action on them? Do you schedule them into your routines? And I guess I want to know, like, How do you decide which things to act on now and which things go into your parking lot? I would like to see if you have any kind of like qualifiers for what actually gets attention and what doesn't. Okay, so getting back to my client, who I said we deleted all of her emails, and I'm looking at some of you because I bet some of you are watching this video, whether you're watching the replay or whether you're here live, and you're thinking, okay, so that client had 21,000 emails, unread emails in her inbox. Maybe you don't have that many emails, but maybe your emails are getting a little out of hand. Maybe it's unmanageable. So I get more than 250 emails a day, which maybe that doesn't sound like a lot to you. Sometimes it feels like a lot to me, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm managing to go through my emails every day because I have specific times in the day when I check and take action on my emails. So for you, if your emails, no matter how many you're getting during the day, if it's starting to feel like it's taking up too much time, here's what I want you to do. And this is what I told my client too. Every email that comes into your inbox is suspect. We're not going to treat it with reverence. We're going to suspect every email that comes in, and we're going to be like, let's take a look at this. So when you're checking your emails, and I suggest only checking your emails maybe twice a day, because you could check your emails 100 times a day, like as things are coming in, and that's not helpful for when you're trying to do your work. So as an email comes in, you're going to take action on it immediately. So either you're going to do something that email has like sparked you to do, or you're going to delete it, or you're going to unsubscribe. And I think a lot of people can benefit by just unsubscribing to all of these random lists that you're probably on. You probably got lists for every place that you've bought something, maybe every kind of newsletter you signed up for, every freebie you've signed up for. That's really what's probably clogging up your emails. So take action on it immediately. If it's something that you need to do, but maybe you can't do it immediately right then, you take that thing and you put it into your to-do list on a specific day. So whatever, maybe that email prompts you to say like, oh, I've got to make a phone call. So you put that phone call, make phone call to XYZ in your planner. You don't just like leave the email there as a reminder. You put that where it actually belongs. Deleting emails is fine too. So not every single email deserves a reply. And I think that's a little hard for business owners, but there's going to come a time where you're getting lots and lots and lots of emails, and emails from people trying to sell you something, people who want you to sponsor something in a video or whatever. It could also be emails from fans. So I get emails from people saying, hey, why don't you talk about this gadget in your next video? And I'm like, I'm not going to do that, but I don't need to email them back and be like, no, I'm not doing that. I can just delete it. It's just spam. It's just junk people reaching out. Or I might get an email from someone saying, hey, I really loved that worksheet. It was great. And sometimes I do take the time to reply back and say, hey, thanks for telling me. Here's a coupon code. But a lot of the times I just delete it. If it doesn't require a response, I don't have to respond to everything. I think that's one part that's really freeing to people in Startup in 60 is because it's a time management course. It's a time management course about building a business, but I don't consider it a business course because there are other business courses out there that can teach you ins and outs of strategy and stuff. Startup in 60 is really a time management course. And when you get the permission to not have to act on everything, to be able to move forward without being delayed on silly things like emails, it's really freeing. And you realize, wow, I can build my business quickly in 1 minute a day. I can keep moving forward every single day. And then you don't get hung up on things that aren't important. This is the whole point about getting rid of FOMO. We're not going to get hung up on things that aren't important. So for me, I like to get to inbox 0 every day. Leave a comment. Let me know, is that scary for you? Have you ever thought about getting to inbox 0 every day? But one thing that I love about that is I check my email twice a day and I clear it out each time, taking action on whatever the email is, whether it's to put something into my to-do list, to delete it or unsubscribe. And then having that clear inbox at the end of every day means that I'm not like holding over anything overnight. There's nothing like disturbing my sleep at night because I'm thinking about something that I didn't get to. Everything's clear. And it's really nice to start the morning knowing that anything that's in your inbox in the morning is brand new. It's not leftover anything. I think it's also really great to like clear off your desk or write your to-do list for the next day. Maybe pick up the house for 5 minutes, put things away, do the dishes. And that's a really great way to start fresh every single day. I actually think you'll be sleeping better if you do a little bit of a cleanup, whether it's clean up digitally, clean up on your desk, clean up in your home, whatever. Do it for 5 minutes before you go to sleep and you'll sleep better. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll just have a fresh start, a nice clean slate. And that's what I want for you. So if any of the tips that I've been sharing today about getting rid of FOMO, getting to inbox zero, using your parking lot instead of jumping on everything, and being really mindful about your time and moving forward on things that are actually important and not things that are distractions. If any of this sounds great to you, I would love for you to join us in Startup in 60. So like I mentioned, Startup in 60 is now open. It's back from the dead. It is a time management course for busy women who are ready to finally start their own businesses, whether they have 60 days, 60 minutes, or just 60 seconds. So every day you'll get a new video lesson that you can watch that covers a different aspect of starting a business. And then you choose to either do a 60-minute or a 60-second task to keep moving forward. So every day you have something to do. And maybe most days you'll have an hour to work on your business. But if you don't, give yourself permission to do the 60-second task. No excuses. I've said this before. If you've got time to pee, you've got time to work on your business. So join us in Startup in 60. There are 60, that's 60 daily videos, more than 30 clarity worksheets. Plus, right now, if you sign up, starting November 4th, we are in a live session, which means there are weekly interactive calls with me where you can get answers to your questions for your specific business, and you get to interact with all of your fellow life editors who are building their businesses from scratch. So if you want to join us for Startup in 60, go ahead and click the link that's in the video description here, and you can get more information all about it. And I would love to see you in the program. All right. Let's see, life editors. I don't see any comments coming in, but if you're watching this replay on Facebook or on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know if you experience FOMO. Let me know if you use a parking lot. And let me know if you're thinking about joining Startup in 60 and if you have any questions about it. And I guess tell me what would be the biggest benefit for you if in 60 days you have a fully functioning business? Like, what would that do for you? Like January 1st, you're starting the new year with a business. Like, tell me how that would change your life. I would love to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and leave a comment below. Click the link to join us in Startup in 60. Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you in the program. Okay, life editors, thanks for being here for another day of Face Your Fear Week. I hope you had fun with me. And I will see you tomorrow for another fear that we will be tackling together. All right, thank you. See you later, life editors. Bye.